Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Chris here, Fake Sports News, Axe Rotation, however the flip you know me on these interwebs. And today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be ranking all 12 of our current CDL 2026 teams based on what I've seen from them in the first week of CDL matches. I know that is a bit rash, right? Just jumping to conclusions, ranking all the teams, but hey, my channel, my rules. I do what I want. So let's start with our 12th place team. As you guys can see, I have color coded this entire thing incorrectly because my 12th place team, as it stands, is the Vancouver Surge. Yeah, I mean, not a lot to say there. Obviously, this team, Legend, Lunars, Abe, and of course Gwen, they're just not hitting anything right now. Not yet. I mean, you guys know if you've been watching some of my other content, I feel like these guys will bring it together at some point. They'll get it together and they'll get it into gear, but that point is not yet. So, without further ado, let's move on to our 11th place team because someone has to be it. I feel like there's a lot of great contenders in this game at the moment, but I just feel like Carolina Royal Ravens. I don't know. I'm not super high on that roster. Let's look at it in case you guys aren't clear on who's on the team. You have Lurk, Craze, Nero, Slasher, and Coach Brian Saint, who came from the Minnesota Rokkr. I'm sorry. Yeah, he did come from the Minnesota Rokkr. Look at his. Yeah. Anyways, he's been the coach of the Ravens for a while, but he came from Rokkr originally. So, anyways, that's my 11th place team. I just feel like this team will get better. Slasher obviously is one of the greatest Call of Duty minds of all time. I mean, his gunny, it's there at times, but not like when he was, like 25 and cracked or 22 and cracked, let's say. So yeah, Nero, I mean, he's a great player, but he just hasn't had that breakout performance yet. He's had some spurts of like looking great, but he hasn't consistently been that guy. Lurk and Craze, of course, are just two like upstart players. I love what I've seen from Lurk so far, and Craze is Craze. After EWC, his stock was super high, so we have high expectations for him, but we'll see how things go. Now, our 10th place team is the Miami Heretics. If you guys don't know, they, of course, lost Real, and they had to replace him with Trakes, a new upstart player. So the team is super, Rancor medals, and coach methods. And just to show you guys what the players from Surge look like, here they are: Lunars, Legend, Gwyn, and of course Abe. And then you have Coach Atura, who formerly was obviously with the Mutineers years ago. So that's our 10th place team, the Miami Heretics. I feel like they are a strong S&D team right now, but their respawn is hit or miss so far. So hopefully it improves and Miami becomes the consistent contender that they were last year. Speaking of teams that were semi consistent contenders at different points throughout the season, we have the Boston Breach. I feel like this team could considerably improve in terms of our perception of them. They've looked great thus far. Ninth is not because they're bad, but just because everybody else is comparatively so good. So yeah, that's why I have them in ninth place. I mean, their hard point, their S&D, and their overload all looked phenomenal from what we've seen. But their lone match last week was against the Surge, I believe. So not really a lot to glean from that. I don't think they played a second time last week. I'm pretty sure they only played once. But yeah, let's get into our eighth place team, which is Cloud9 New York. I love what I've seen from Afro and Mac. Beans and Vivid have contributed a lot from what we've seen so far. Not huge amounts in terms of like pop off games or whatever, but they have carried their bales of water to put out the fires, if you will. And they've looked pretty good against some of the better teams like G2. So I like this Cloud9 team. I feel like they have a lot of room to improve and continue to grow and get better. But yeah, I mean, beating the top tier teams, that's a foregone conclusion. We're not sure if they'll be able to do that just yet. So our seventh place team is Optic. No, I'm joking. It's the Riyadh Falcons. Even though we haven't necessarily seen a ton from them yet, I just feel like Pred, Cell, Kismet, and Exnid will pull it together. We saw they took map one off of Optic last week when they played. So yeah, I mean, I feel like Riyadh, they're definitely a team that will get better as the year goes on, as the game changes, and as everybody learns how they want to play the game as a team, right? So that's why I have them as a seventh ranked seed. Really, it's just the personnel diff and what I've seen from them so far. It gives me a lot of pause in saying that they will be a bottom four team. I feel like they'll probably creak into the top six at some point. Now, that brings us to our sixth place team, who I'm actually going to have is Toronto Koi right now, just because I feel like G2, even though most people wouldn't necessarily say this, I feel like G2 is probably a little bit better right now. It's early game, anything could happen. Obviously, you expect Koi to be better if they match up, but I don't know, man. I just feel like this G2 team, they have really good fundamentals. They just look really good, right? They took a hard point off Optic. They looked good. They looked good when they did it. Mamba and Craze, that old duo. Mamba, Skies. Let's look at the roster so we're all clear on it. Estriel, Kremp, Mamba, and Skies is the roster. And then let's go back to some of the rosters that we didn't look at. So Breach, Cloud9, and Falcons. So here's Falcons roster. You have Coach Clay, Xnid, Kiz, Cell, and Pred. Those are their primary players. These other guys, um, QK4B and Roxas, they are like on the bench. So that's their roster. Let's look at the. Uh, we already looked at Miami. We need to look at Cloud9. So you got Vivid, Mac, Beans, and Afro and Coach Arian. And then the other team that we needed to look at was Toronto. Got Kleenex, Insight, Joe Deceives, and Real. And then I guess they have a new coach, FF2K. So yeah, let's get into the next team as I keep distracting myself, which is of course G2 Minnesota, the team I just showed you guys. Astrio, Kremp, Looney, Mamba, and Skies. They've been a really, really good team. I just feel like they, like I was talking about a second ago, have a lot of upside, and it remains to be seen if there are any teams that are in this, let's say, 6 through 12 rung that are considerably better than G2 as far as what we've seen from them, right? Toronto Koi, we haven't really seen them take on the top contender just yet. So we'll see how they look when they take on Vegas Faze later this week. But yeah, I mean, I really like this G2 team. I feel like they have potential to be a top four team at some of these majors and make some Sundays. So let's see how that holds. But this is week one aftermath prediction. So everything's going to be crazy. And the top four is my top four: Faze Vegas, Paris Gentlemates, Optic Texas, and the Los Angeles Thieves. So yeah, let's rank the top four. At the bottom of the top four, I'm going to put Faze Vegas. We've seen obviously Faze Vegas take down the Gentlemates, but the LA Thieves absolutely stomped them, and that's why I have Faze Vegas in the fourth seeded place. Their hard point has looked absolutely abysmal. They're a 2-3-5 team as far as we've seen so far. Their victory against the Paris Gentlemates came through winning the S&D, the Overload, and the Game 5 S&D with the 6-0. If you missed that, I have highlights of that. But otherwise, the respawn is looking absolutely atrocious. Objective game modes, S&D, and Overload, great. The respawn mode, that being hardpoint, mm-mm. So we'll see how it goes. The hybrid respawn mode, they're doing pretty well in. So that means that it's probably an issue of like fundamentals and just late game adjustments and small things with the HP, right? So hopefully they get it together, but it's early in the season. We've only seen 1 week of play. I definitely know that they will improve. So that brings me to our third best team, our third ranked team, the LA Thieves. Geez. And yeah, the reason why I rank them in third place is just because their hardpoint and S&D have looked phenomenal. Their overloads looked pretty good as well. But Hydra and Scrap look like they're still getting acclimated and getting comfortable with the game. Scraps looked good, but Hydra, he's been hit or miss thus far, so I think he's just getting comfortable on this new game. And once he gets settled in, I expect him to be an absolute monster on the map. So that's why I have LA Thieves at the third ranked spot. I like what I've seen from them in HP, S&D, and Overload, but yeah, I think there's definitely improvements to be made. Now, number two, we have our winners of the Kson Invitational. This is such a long list. I have to keep scrolling and placing in different places. But the Gentlemates, they look to be one of the best teams in the world, one of the top two teams in the world, without a doubt, right? They look to be as far ahead in terms of making themselves an S tier team as Faze was in years past. So basically, they're the better pink right now, and that's why I think Gentleman's are a top two team. Their hardpoint has looked absolutely insane. They've even beaten Optic in hardpoint. So yeah, I mean they're up there. They can hang with the best of them. Their S&D at times has definitely left a lot to be desired thus far, but they are a new team, right? You have one duo, that being Envoy, and of course Ghosty coming from the LA Thieves. But Sib and Neptune have no chemistry, and then Ghosty and Sib, I don't think they have any chemistry. They maybe teamed in challengers at one point, but I don't think they have any chem. And then Envoy with the rest of them and Neptune with the rest of them have no chem. So, Gelmates, they're figuring it out, but it's going to take them a little bit more time to get fully comfortable with this new team and fully acclimated and adjust to how they want to play. But so far, they look phenomenal. So, yeah, you got to tip Gentlemates and how they've played so far when expectations decidedly were very low for this Gentlemates roster. Now, that brings us to the defending world champs, EWC champs, Optic Texas. They look like they haven't skipped a single beat. They look to be the best team in the league. They're dominating everybody. And yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to say other than the fact that they're dominating everybody. So yeah, I mean, that will pretty much wrap it up. I don't have a lot to say for Optic. There's not a lot of negatives, not a lot of takeaways. They've just been dominating everybody. They're really ahead. And I mean, through all of the updates and major changes, unless some of the guys just forget how to play Call of Duty and the Monstars steal their powers on some Space Jams vibes, I think Optic look pretty good to be a top team all year long. How well they'll do throughout the year, no one knows. I mean, COD changes a lot with updates and in-game adjustments from teams figuring out how they want to play, teams changing mid-season, things of that nature. So we'll see how it goes for them. But as it stands, they are the top dog. Gentlemates are the second best. LA Thieves third best. Atlanta Faze, Jesus, Freudian slip. Faze Vegas are the fourth best. Minnesota G2 are the fifth. Toronto Koi are the sixth. Riyadh Falcons are the seventh. Cloud9 New York are the eighth. Boston Breach are the ninth. Miami Heretics are the 10th. The Carolina Royal Ravens, almost messed up again, are the 11th, and the Vancouver Surge are the 12th ranked team. Now, this is all my way too early week one power rankings. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you have a great morning, noon, or night, like I always say. And be sure to come back to the channel for a ranking of all of the best players in the game, which I'll be posting tomorrow before the matches. Hope you guys have a great morning, noon, or night, like I said before, and I'll catch you on the next one. Once again, this is Chris Big Sports News Exhortation. However the flip you on me of these interwebs, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.